Wagwan. 20th of June today, Thursday. England versus Denmark. Big game. I'm going to be speaking about football, anxiety, Jesus, and Joshua today. Three random topics, just three things that are on my mind. It's been a while, so thank you for being patient. If you've been subscribing and liking my videos, waiting for the daily content, I had to just take a moment. I never ever force anything. Even if I say I'm going to do it every day, if one of the days I feel like I've got a block, I'll allow that block to come, because there's just so much information that we could always speak about at all moments. I like it to feel like it's guided from within me. So football, anxiety, Jesus, and Joshua. Boy, first of all, let's talk about the football. Right now, I am a door-to-door canvasser for a window company. I don't actually try and sell windows to the people at the doors, but I basically try and get them to get a free quote. I do it in Kent, specifically in an area called Thanet, which is racist as frick. Racist area. There's still sunken slave ships in Margate, Broadstairs, Ramsgate. I've been called the N-word at the door twice. I've been growled at by people. I've been told to get the F off of people's front gardens. And it's a difficult job to navigate. But the freedom that comes with this job, the flexibility and the potential. There's people earning thousands of pounds in one day here from commission on this job. But why am I bringing it up? Because today, of all days specifically, it's even harder, because the consciousness of the area right now is all focused on the Denmark-England match, which, by the way, and some people will resonate with what I'm about to say. I will lose some people completely. I believe even football is totally scripted and staged. There's people that can literally, using Dramantria, tell you who's going to win every match weeks before, and you'll never lose your money on if you was betting. Yeah, there's someone called Dramantria Effect. If you find him, his name's Zach, I think his name is, on YouTube. He's more to do with like the NFL and American football and stuff like that. But he's basically proved the validity of what he said. They're paying these people millions of pounds, yeah, and it's, even though it's hard for the brain to understand how a football match can be scripted because it looks so organic and stuff like that, I believe it is. There's too much money, too much politics, too much Freemasonry going on behind the scenes of football for it to just be organic. I'll always use the example of sometime in the pandemic, there was the England match. I think it was the World Cup, when the three black boys, they all missed a football penalty, and overnight England turned into the most racist, evil, vile country. And I believe that would have been done on purpose, problem reaction, and hopefully they would have come in with some kind of solution. Babylon. It's dark. It's dark. The world that I see through my lens is dark, because everything is manipulation, everything is a stage. Some of the most powerful freedom fighters in the truther community are psyops and 33-degree Freemasons, or part of the Fabian Society, or part of secret societies to dupe us. You should really discern now more than ever who can be trusted. Even me watching my videos, discern, can I trust Indigo? Is he speaking truth, or is he just another Freemason? You have to be paranoid at this point, and it's not bad to be paranoid. It's a healthy thing, I would say, as long as it's not affecting your mental health too much. But anyway, football, man. Obviously, in a couple of years ago in the pandemic, the same day that England had the big match was the same day that the government brought in this law called, I'm gonna mash up the word here, but it's called Gillian Hicks. And this law, Gillian Hicks, allowed people, children, to override their parents' decision regarding getting any kind of medicine. And that was a wild thing. And most people were distracted because they were watching the football. Or you go into any supermarket anywhere in the country, it's all just football, football, football. Football, from my research, and allegedly Dave, if you know who he is, Dave Murphy, told me to my face, and I've done some research in it, and it does seem to back up. Football comes from the slave trade. The slave owner would chop off the head of one of his slaves, wrap it into a bag, and then they would kick the head around. That's some of the origins of football. I consider it totally a distraction, totally pointless, absolutely no value. Of course, it's amazing that it gathers people together, and there's community, and people love to cheer it on. But can you imagine if people were cheering on sovereignty, cheering on the return of our birth certificate, cheering on the fact that we are awakening onto this planet and Babylon's falling. Can you imagine a stadium of 100,000 people cheering on these kind of benevolent things? Yeah. So for me, it's a psyop, and it's a deep distraction. Many young men, all they want to do is grow up to be a footballer. All it takes is one broken ankle though, and your whole career's gone. Yeah, they don't want us to become learned individuals, people that can read many books in a month, people that can invent things. They want us to be just like Michael Jordan or David Beckham. Yeah, both Freemasons, in my opinion. So there's a lot going on in the world right now. If you know about Nostradamus, he predicted that World War III would start around the 18th, 19th of June, maybe the 20th of June. So the global stage right now is very, very hot, very, very political, very, very dangerous. We're in a totalitarian tiptoe towards something very, very profound and a major shift. And of course, everyone's talking about the Euros and football. And I was only in Scotland on the weekend just gone. And a lot of the Scottish people were just like so annoyed because they got trashed 5-1 by I think Croatia maybe, and even and the one goal that Scotland got was an own goal by Croatia. I think it was Croatia. It may have been another country. So anyway, football has made my job today even more difficult because the consciousness has dropped into a very animalistic consciousness in the environment of Thanet. The majority of people. I just had a door right now. The football starts at 5. It's 2 o'clock right now. Right now, actually, it's 2:22 as I say this. But he goes to me, what the fuck are you doing at my door, man? The football starts in 3 hours. I said, 3 hours, bro. 3 fucking hours. And also, I don't even know about football, so I'm just doing my job, bro. It's a Thursday afternoon. But it was very much like what the football does is it draws men and women into the animalistic, reactive life state. And let me just say something. If England don't win the Euros, or if England tonight lose against Denmark, 50% more domestic violent cases are going to happen in the United Kingdom. Men going to come home and beat their wife because they're so drunk and they're pissed off because their masculine British pride has been hurt. Domestic abuse goes up by 50%. Whenever a black person misses a goal in football because they need the black people. Why do they need black people? And this is because of our genetics. And why are a lot of the genetics of black people more elite? Because of selective breeding coming from slavery. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But anyway, when a black person misses a goal, racism, something like, I think the figure was like 28 to 30% more racist attacks and racist slurs are being reported every single time a black person misses a goal in England for football. I'm telling you now, black warriors, kings and queens, playing for England is not our land. It is not our place to be playing for England. Yeah, you're playing for the colonizer. Anyway, that's enough about football. That was the first thing. Second thing is anxiety. I've been feeling anxious, man. This job makes me feel quite anxious. Like I said, I live in a racist area. I've been called the N-word twice at the door. And so every single door, I don't know if like a Rottweiler is or a German Shepherd is gonna jump out at me. I don't enjoy this job in the slightest, but I'm going through my initiation into manhood, and I recognize I've got to do what I've got to do to survive. I've got no one. I ain't got no rich family members, no one who's going to be able to pull me out of this hole that I'm in. And when I say a hole, I mean I'm going through great transitions right now as I try and find what my life purpose is even deeper. But also by living alone, I need to feed myself. I need to put petrol in the car. I need to keep it moving. So this job landed on me, and it's a friend that's my manager, and I'm grateful for it, but it's difficult. So yeah, I can sense a bit of anxiety coming in me every time I'm knocking on the doors right now. And I'll be honest, a lot of you will know that I stand for not vaping. I absolutely think vaping is so satanic. And if you're going to smoke, bust up a big dutty zoot or some roll-ups, 100%. But where I've been driving now, it's been about a month since I've been driving. Within the first week, I bought a vape. I bought a Lost Mary because I'm going to be honest, I just wanted to smoke something while I was driving. And I've been smoking, and I'm not going to lie, it's been fucking fantastic, man. Hitting 70 on the M-way, chilling on cruise control with your vape. But I've recognized within myself more and more anxiety. And like, I'm not the kind of person that gets anxious when someone chucks a racist slur at me or something, to be honest. And I've been getting more and more anxious. And I realized today, bro, what am I doing vaping? Like, cut that in the freaking bud. Don't you dare. You're a warrior. You're a warrior. You ain't one of these people that just go out and buy the vapes, man. Because that shit is destroying our mind, body, and spirit. But most essentially our mind. It is pouring negative metals into our brains through the liquid of the vape. You can feel it. I literally, like, after vaping, after every 5 pulls, I would phlegm up a big, like, oily piece of phlegm and spit it out. What am I doing? What am I doing? So if you're this is a call to people who are vaping. If you are vaping and also simultaneously feeling low energy, suicidal, if you're feeling anxious and angry, and by the way, I'm feeling all of them, except I do not feel suicidal in the slightest. But if that's how you're feeling, give up the vape. Just like literally right now, as you hear this, take it out of your pocket and chuck it away. Give up the vape, because I'm telling you, I believe the vapes are specifically designed to destroy the mental health of people as quickly and as rapidly as possible. It's quite shocking, actually. So I just wanted to share that. I've been vaping a bit for a month and I slipped up. I should never have done it, man. And I can sense just anxiety in me. This morning I signed up to a gym, Just Fitness, Ballantine gym. And I was in the gym by about 8:45, did an hour. Fuck me, man. My mental health just went straight up. It felt incredible. I went for a dip in the sea at about 7:30 this morning. And I just took the morning a bit slower. And it's really important, man. Again, if you're feeling anxious, because I have been, make sure you own your fucking morning. I used to be up at 5 a.m. jogging for no reason, didn't even have a job. Now I can't even get back out of bed at 5 a.m. It's time for me. And if you're resonating with what I'm saying, it's time for you to bring some discipline into our lives now. We're needed more than ever. They're trying harder and harder and harder every single day to keep us distracted. So that's anxiety. And the last thing is Jesus and Joshua. And I've been getting triggered a little bit recently because, and I've been watching people, friends of mine, non-friends of mine, and I'm seeing loads of Bible quotes and I'm seeing stuff about Jesus, and people are finding God. And I just want to give my 2 cents on why this is happening, you know? And it's my opinion. It's not the truth. It's my truth and my opinion. So why is this happening? And what's my trigger with it? I have absolutely no trigger or absolutely no issue with people finding power and peace in the Bible and in Christianity, as long as you're aware that anity, Christian, by putting the word anity on it, connects it to the Vatican, deeply satanic. You take that or leave it. What's my opinion on the Bible? The Bible is a coded book of the stars and the astrology of the planet. It is a coded book of our own biology, and the stars and the cosmos is within us. And it was also a metaphor for Jesus being the sun. Christianity to me is sun worship, and amongst other things. And the way that Christianity and the Bible and God are currently presented to us, in my opinion, it's all inverted and it's all satanic. So when people are praying to Jesus, when people are following the biblical teachings and going to church, it's actually Satanism that you're following. It's all inverted. I'm going to lose some friends. I'm going to lose some followers for just what I've just said. But that is my truth. It is, in my opinion, the truth. The top Masons will tell you, you know, and it is not the truth of Joshua. So why do I get triggered? Why am I getting triggered that I'm seeing more and more people say, like, dropping quotes and saying, I'm finding the Bible, I'm finding power in the Bible, and I'm finding Jesus? As I've said 1,000 times, please have some dignity for yourself. Stop calling him Jesus. It was Joshua, 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 Joshua. I've had people say, yeah, but I don't really think it matters as long as your intentions are. Stop it. You wouldn't call your mother by, if your mother's name's Jane, you wouldn't call her, hey, Karen, to her face. That's a disrespect. His name was Joshua. Why was his name Joshua? Simply, there was no J in the alphabet 2,000 years ago. If you're going to claim to follow a black Israelite like Joshua, do not call him Jesus. First of all, triggers me a bear, man. All these so-called powerful, enlightened, awakening moments that people are having, and they don't even have the audacity to call this man by his name, Joshua. Number 2, why are people finding more and more power in the Bible? I would say is because we are living in biblical times. The cabal, the Freemasons, the secret societies, the Fabian societies, and a whole bunch of other ones that we'll never even know about, they are bringing about Armageddon, what the Jehovah Witnesses were talking about. They are bringing about Armageddon. Yeah? So when you're looking in the world, you're seeing all the locusts going everywhere and eating all the crops. You're seeing famine. You're seeing earthquakes. You're seeing the predictions of the Bible happening. You're seeing what's happening in Israel right now with the red heifer. You're seeing how they're going to sacrifice this cow in order to bring about who owns the Temple of David or Temple of Solomon, whatever it is. All of these things, it's very biblical. I would say 50% of it is very natural. 50% is being orchestrated by these Freemasons and above. So I think a lot of people are finding power in reading their book, which they've presented to us, the Bible, and seeing what's happening in the world and falsely believing that it is a natural occurrence and that the Bible has the answers. I've got it written on my face, the Lotus Sutra, the last 8 years of the Buddha's teachings. I'm a follower of Nichiren Buddhism, and I follow what we call the Gosho, which is the writings of Nichiren Daishonin. Everything as well, which is going on right now to some extent, has also been predicted. Internal invasions, calamities, earthquakes. But what are these earthquakes natural? Is it the wrath of God, or is it HARP technology and CERN? So yeah, I'm seeing more and more people dropping Bible quotes, and I'm not saying, by the way, that if that because the book is inverted, that everything is satanic. I don't really understand what my conclusion is on the Bible, and I do think there is some very powerful stuff. But also, if you're going to talk about the Bible, like read the whole thing, read the Book of Enoch, read the books that have been taken out of the Bible, talk about the Nephilim, talk about the ascended beings and aliens, and all of this stuff, which is all covered in the Bible. If you can find the right master, the right sensei, the right mentor to decode it correctly for you. And I would suggest even someone like Santos Bonacci, yeah, Santos Bonacci, someone who's great at decoding the Bible. So that's my 2 pence today. Football in the United Kingdom right now is bringing our nation, our nation. I was going to say our beautiful nation, but to be honest, I couldn't give a frick about the United Kingdom. Even though I live here, I feel I incarnated into the devil's living room for a reason. But people are dropping into a very animalistic life state because of the football which is going on, which has all been done by design, which I believe is all scripted. Right now, the winner of the Euros has already been handpicked long time ago. But you have to be vibrating on a certain level to understand Dramantria, to understand how they code everything, to understand you can't trust one of them players. Anxiety has been rising up in me more and more as the universe takes me on a path I never thought I would be on. My heart doesn't feel fulfilled knocking on doors, trying to sell people windows, while I'm also every other door looking up updates on Project Bluebeam and World War III starting. It feels so invaluable, insignificant, and foolish. But I know I've got to do what I've got to do. And every single day, something small happens which reminds me I am walking God's path. I'm walking the mystic law's path. I'm walking Joshua, Muhammad, Sai Baba, the path of righteousness and love. I am walking that, and I'm being guided through it. It's very easy just to become a drug dealer. It's very easy just to do something malevolent to get some money. But my heart says, King, keep going. Something so massive is around the corner. This is just a stepping stone. So if you're in a job right now, or a situation, or a relationship, or a situationship which is feeling heavy, but you know there's a reason that you're there, please take my words as some kind of healing. You are exactly where you need to be, my king or my queen. Keep going. Keep believing in yourself. Keep pumping energy into your day. And I guess the last thing I want to say is, I more than ever at this moment in time, more than ever, I need to do more Buddhism. I need to chant more Daimoku, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. I keep saying to myself every morning, minimum I need to do an hour, because life right now, I go out, I step out into the world and things are battering me, being called an N-word at the door, having arguments with loved ones, feeling kind of like anxious about money and situations and where am I supposed to be. All of these things, yeah, if I need to make sure my life state is so high when I'm going through these things, and I'm not doing that. So it's a sign. This is a message to myself and to you. Pump your spiritual practice even more. If it's yoga, do yoga even more. If it's prayer as a Muslim, get on your knees 5 times a day and do it with your soul. For me, it's chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo to my Gohonzon. It could just be having them beautifully difficult heart-to-heart dialogues with your loved ones. And what is a dialogue? A dialogue isn't a conversation. A dialogue isn't chit chat. A dialogue isn't listening, having a conversation with someone, but like not actually listening because you've got this like thought that you can't wait to drop on them as soon as they've shut the F up. And as soon as they shut up, you just go, well, bang. A dialogue is truly letting your guards down, having respect for the other person, having a heart-to-heart dialogue, listening and then responding. If you've got a lot of stuff you want to say, write it down quickly and then allow that to just float away and then come back to the point you wanted to. And I'm telling you, as a Leo, and Leo sun and moon, and where I've had to work on making sure my ego is humble and grounded, I, for a long time, wasn't having true dialogue with people. I was listening to them, thinking I was righteous because I'm a Buddhist and I know this and that, and then talking over them. Yeah, something that I've changed for years ago now. But I was at a Buddhist meeting in Kent last night near the sea, and that was the whole thing. What is dialogue, and what is a heart-to-heart dialogue, and how do we have transformative dialogue? How do we actually transform the world? Well, it's global leaders having heart-to-heart dialogue, putting themselves in the shoes of other people. And I gave one example. Tommy Robinson, I think his name is, yeah, the man that's observed as being very racist and he hates Muslims and all of this stuff. I listened to a 2.5, 3 hour heart-to-heart dialogue conversation podcast he had with someone online. And I'm telling you now, 90% of what he says makes sense and there's wisdom to it. But when you only see people in short little micro content snaps, or you see the most negative aspect of what their message is, it comes across fucking rude or racist. And I'm not saying that he's not a racist. I don't know him enough, but what I will say is some of his points on immigration, some of his points on asylum seekers, some of his points on our country being flooded by a different culture and a different race, to the point where one religion, which isn't a native English religion, like the birth rate is like 10 times more than our own at this point. It's something that needs to be addressed with wisdom, with heart-to-heart dialogue, with respect, and it's not really being done. And so someone like him, because he's also got the kind of British football head on him, he comes across not as wise with how he's trying to articulate his truths. But if I was to just like move my own ego out of the way, there's a lot of things that I resonate with what he's saying. And it's an example of heart-to-heart dialogue is so important in a time where we're living in emoji land, where we send our, I could have like an ex or a lover or someone send me a message and it's really deep and it's sad and it's triggering, or they want a response and I just reply with a thumbs up emoji. That's the point we're at. And it was done with Vine, 6-second Vines and Instagrams and Reels and videos. How can we get a whole generation to lose the power of dialogue? How can we get a whole generation to lose the power of heart-to-heart, sincere communication? Well, let's just give them emojis. Let's give them short replies. Let's give them instant replies. So it's just like, can't speak, talk later, leaving people feeling numb and unfulfilled in their conversations. So there we go, man. Football, anxiety, Jesus and Joshua. I love you. Stay grounded, stay real, stay vulnerable. More than ever, stand in your sacred truth. Trust more than ever that God, Jah, Muhammad, whoever it is, or your own higher self, your angels, archangels, your grandma, or your ancestors are wrapping themselves around you, protecting you as the leader of your family and of your environment. I'm telling you now, if you're watching this right now, I'm telling you, because we're all reflections, you are not just someone who's aware of the truth. You are the leader of your entire environment, town, family, friendship groups, yeah? Stay strong. Remember that a lion doesn't seek no companionship. Yeah, it's great to have some fucking companionship, but it doesn't seek it. Yeah, if you're all on your own, keep going, keep going, keep going. I was just in Scotland, Glasgow University. An old 90-year-old lady came up to me saying, "My daughter showed her my videos, and she's so grateful for the videos because I speak out about things that, for instance, my religion might not speak out about, and I will not be silenced within my own faith. For instance, about, say an organization suggesting that everyone gets medicine, I'm going to be that one nail that sticks up and say, nope, not doing it. And even as a leader in this organization, I'm going to defend my perspective." And more people, like this 90-year-old lady who I'd never met in my life from Glasgow, came up to me and said, thank you, because I found your video online and you are the voice of my truth. You are the voice of your generation to me, and you are the voice of this whole movement for me, because within our organization, not enough people are speaking out about some of these things. For instance, I was standing at an event behind a climate change poster with Greta Thunberg on. I believe Greta Thunberg most probably is a boy, not a woman, and her parents are psyops, and she's either getting paid or she's part of some deep Freemasonic plan to bring about this false agenda of climate change in order to bring about more and more government-controlled things to try and control us, yeah, under the threat of climate change. So I'm standing there, and this lady came up to me, and she was just like, yeah, man, that is that to Greta Thunberg, and thank you, and for transforming yourself and facing your own shadow enough that you can stand here in front of 2,000 people and be that one person that goes, I'm standing alone and I'm saying that this is wrong. I don't believe in climate change and I'm sorry. Why? Because I know for a fact that they're doing that. There's earthquake weapons, that they're cloud seeding, that they're transforming shit through the weather, HARP technology. Yeah. And actually, you don't even know about any of this stuff. So actually, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to be wise and I'm going to be respectful and I'm going to hold the space for when you come to me asking questions. And that could even be in 10 years. It might even be in your next life. But I'm going to still stand here in my sovereignty and in my integrity. So that being said, let me love you and leave you Gang, 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 gang. Yeah. No Masonic hand signs. Yeah. Just love and peace. The real peace sign. We ain't about division. We ain't about that V-Day Winston Churchill. We about unity. Many in body, one in mind. Yeah. Many in body, one in mind. I Tao Doshin. I love you.